Here are 4 awkward habits of the INTJ. Number 1. Cerebral humor. Cerebral humor is a type of humor that appeals to one's intellect, wit, and ability to understand complex or abstract concepts. It often involves clever wordplay, puns, intellectual references, or ironic twists. Individuals with INTJ personality types are known for their affinity for cerebral humor due to their sharp minds and analytical nature. Here are a few characteristics and examples of cerebral humor that INTJs might enjoy. Intellectual wordplay. INTJs appreciate clever plays on words, double entendres, or puns that require a level of intellectual engagement to fully appreciate. They may enjoy linguistic humor that involves wordplay, clever word usage, or creative interpretations. An example would be, I used to be a baker, but I couldn't make enough dough, so I decided to rise to the occasion and became a comedian instead. Satire and irony. INTJs often find humor in satirical or ironic observations about society, politics, or everyday life. They enjoy dissecting and exposing the contradictions, hypocrisies, and absurdities of human behavior or systems. An example would be, I find it ironic how people who take everything literally never seem to understand figurative speech. Intellectual references. INTJs appreciate humor that draws upon their vast knowledge and interests. They may enjoy references to literature, science, philosophy, or pop culture that require a certain level of intellectual familiarity to fully grasp the humor. An example would be, why did the mathematician bring a ladder to the bar? Because he heard the drinks were on the house. Dry wit and sarcasm. INTJs often employ dry wit and sarcasm to deliver their humorous remarks. They enjoy subtly mocking situations or people, using irony and understatement to create humor. An example would be, I'm not saying I'm always right, it's just that I haven't been proven wrong yet. Today. Absurdity and logical paradoxes. INTJs find humor in the absurd and illogical aspects of life. They enjoy exploring logical paradoxes or creating humorous scenarios that challenge conventional thinking or expose contradictions. An example would be, time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like a banana, but can bananas fly like a fruit? Cerebral humor allows INTJs to engage their intellect and share their perspectives in a humorous and thought-provoking way. However, it's important to note that not all INTJs have the same sense of humor, and individual preferences can vary. Number 2. Emotional compartmentalization. Emotional compartmentalization is a common trait observed in individuals with INTJ personality types. It refers to the tendency to separate and manage emotions separately from other aspects of life, often keeping emotions isolated and not allowing them to influence decision-making or logical thinking. Here's a closer look at emotional compartmentalization and its potential effects. Rationality over emotions. INTJs prioritize rationality and logical reasoning in their decision-making process. They tend to detach emotions from the decision-making process, relying more on objective analysis and facts. This compartmentalization allows them to make decisions based on the most logical course of action, rather than being swayed by emotional factors. Inner emotional depth. Although INTJs may not openly express their emotions, they often have a rich and complex inner emotional world. They introspect and process their emotions internally, taking the time to understand and analyze their feelings before sharing them with others, if they choose to do so at all. Difficulty expressing emotions. INTJs may struggle to express their emotions outwardly, particularly in situations where they feel vulnerable or exposed. They prefer to maintain a sense of control and privacy over their emotions, which can make it challenging for others to gauge how they truly feel. Emotional distance. INTJ's tendency to compartmentalize emotions can sometimes result in emotional distance or perceived aloofness. While this behavior is not driven by a lack of emotions, it may give the impression that INTJs are uninterested or detached from emotional interactions. Selective emotional investment. INTJs often reserve their emotional energy for situations or people they deem worthy of their investment. They may carefully choose when and where to express emotions, preferring to channel their energy into meaningful connections or endeavors, rather than dispersing it in superficial or inconsequential matters. Emotional release outlets. Despite their inclination for emotional compartmentalization, INTJs still require outlets for emotional release. These outlets can vary from engaging in solitary activities that provide a sense of emotional catharsis, such as writing or pursuing hobbies, to confiding in a trusted and understanding confidant who can offer a safe space for emotional expression. It's important to note that emotional compartmentalization is not a sign of emotional coldness or lack of empathy. INTJs can experience and understand emotions, but they prefer to handle them in a more controlled and deliberate manner, allowing their rationality to guide their decisions and actions. Number 3. Unconventional social norms. INTJ personality types may exhibit unconventional social norms. Unconventional career paths. INTJs may pursue career paths that deviate from traditional or expected choices. For example, instead of following a conventional corporate career, an INTJ might choose to become an entrepreneur, freelance professional, or pursue a non-traditional field that aligns more with their personal interests and passions. Intellectual pursuits over socializing. INTJs often prioritize intellectual and solitary activities over socializing or participating in traditional social events. They may prefer spending their free time engaging in deep reading, pursuing personal projects, or exploring complex intellectual concepts rather than attending parties or social gatherings that they find superficial or unstimulating. Minimalist lifestyle. INTJs may adopt a minimalist lifestyle, questioning consumerist tendencies and opting for a simpler, more intentional way of living. They may focus on decluttering their physical spaces, minimizing material possessions, and prioritizing experiences and personal growth over material accumulation. Non-traditional communication styles. INTJs may have unconventional approaches to communication, preferring direct and concise exchanges rather than adhering to social niceties or engaging in excessive small talk. They might value deep and meaningful conversations and feel uncomfortable with superficial or idle chatter. Unique fashion choices. INTJs may exhibit unconventional fashion choices that reflect their individuality and personal style rather than conforming to mainstream trends. They might experiment with unique combinations, favor minimalist aesthetics, or wear clothing that showcases their interests or values, even if it goes against societal expectations or norms. It's important to note that not all INTJs will exhibit these specific examples of unconventional social norms. Each INTJ is unique and may deviate from societal expectations in their own distinct way, based on their personal beliefs, values, and interests. If you are enjoying our content, please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell. Number 4. Perfectionist pacing. Perfectionist pacing is a term that refers to the tendency of individuals with INTJ personality types to meticulously pace themselves and their work, often striving for an ideal outcome. Here are some additional insights into perfectionist pacing. Thoroughness in planning. INTJs excel in planning and organizing their tasks or projects. They invest considerable time and effort in creating detailed plans, setting specific goals, and outlining the necessary steps to achieve them. This thorough planning allows them to maintain a sense of control and work towards achieving their desired outcome. Analyzing multiple options. INTJs have a preference for exploring different possibilities and considering multiple options before making a decision. This can lead to a prolonged decision-making process as they carefully evaluate the pros and cons, weighing the potential outcomes to ensure they choose the best course of action. Reluctance to delegate. Due to their perfectionist tendencies, INTJs may find it difficult to delegate tasks to others. They prefer to have direct control over their work, fearing that the quality or precision may suffer if they entrust it to someone else. This can result in taking on a heavy workload and reluctance to rely on others, which can sometimes lead to burnout. Struggle with deadlines. INTJs may find it challenging to adhere to deadlines as their perfectionistic nature drives them to constantly refine and improve their work. They may feel dissatisfied with their progress and continue to make adjustments until the last possible moment, often putting themselves under immense pressure to deliver an outcome that aligns with their high standards. Overthinking and self-doubt. The perfectionistic pacing of INTJs can also manifest as overthinking and self-doubt. They may constantly question their own abilities, second-guess their decisions, and worry about potential flaws or mistakes in their work. This can cause delays and hinder their ability to move forward with confidence. While perfectionistic pacing can yield exceptional results, it's important for INTJs to find a balance between striving for excellence and recognizing when a task is good enough. These videos will be really helpful for you.